See this? Now let's see what are the various ways we can represent binary numbers in computer. So why are we only interested in base 2 or binary numbers is because we are dealing with the digital subject, which is nothing but what are the devices that will be used in the computer, right? So when we are talking about computers, we talk about binary numbers. Now the main classification is binary numbers can be classified as unsigned numbers as well as signed numbers. So till now we have seen what happens for the unsigned numbers, right? There I assumed that we don't have any we didn't see any negative numbers till then. So that is why whenever we get the result as a negative when we are doing subtraction, I was actually converting it into the positive number and then putting a minus sign before it. That is what I was doing. And now let's see how to represent or how to deal with the negative numbers completely. So in order to deal with both positive and negative numbers, we call it as signed numbers representation. We have signed magnitude form, signed 1's complement, signed 2's complement. And signed 2's complement is very important because this is the number system or this is the way we are going to represent a number in the modern day computers. Earlier 1's complement was used and before that signed magnitude was used, but the problem is signed magnitude is the circuit required to perform addition, to perform subtraction and to perform other tasks like multiplication and division. It is becoming too heavy or the complexity of the circuits required to design the arithmetic operations using signed magnitude as well as signed 1's complement is not as simple as compared to the 2's complement. That is why we give more importance to 2's complement. Even though I am going to discuss about all the number systems, these three number systems in fact, I am not going to go in detail about signed magnitude and signed 1's complement, but then I'll go into detail when we talk about the 2's complement. So we are talking about only certain kind of numbers. Even though I am writing it as binary numbers, here I am not taking every number into consideration. Actually there are two types of numbers, or you can say four or three. I'll just classify them. Now if you look at any number, it will either be an integer. I am not talking about imaginary numbers, normal numbers that we use every day. Integer or a fraction, right? So integer means like let's say 10 is an integer, or a fraction means 0.14, right? Or a combination of these two, this one and this one. So let's say integer with fraction, with fractional part, okay, like 10.14. Now if you observe these integers, the placement of decimal point is different. So here the placement of decimal point is to the extreme right. Even though they didn't say it, it is assumed. And if you look at the fraction, the placement of the decimal point is to the extreme left of the number. If you look at the integer, this decimal point or radix point, it can be anywhere in the number, right? It can float from the leftmost to the rightmost. Therefore, when we fix the decimal points either to the right or to the leftmost, it is called as fixed point representation. Fixed point. So why the name fixed point? It is self-explanatory, right? So fixed point means the point, this particular point in this case is fixed to the rightmost, and in this case it is fixed to the leftmost. That is why it is called fixed point representation. And if you observe this one, integer with a fraction, the point can float anywhere from the leftmost to anywhere from the rightmost. That is why it is called as floating point. Floating point number, right? Now when I am talking about this particular topic, when I am teaching this, I assume that it is a binary number, which means it is not a decimal number, and moreover I am assuming that it is integer. We are dealing with integer. Same things can be applied to the other numbers as well, but then later we shall see how to deal with them. There are there are small changes here or modifications. For now, let's stick to this. So what I am trying to say is, we are talking about the integers with the decimal point or radix point in general is to the rightmost. So this point is generally called decimal point in base 10 or radix point for any radix, right? So now what I am saying is, we are talking about the integers in which this radix point is to the rightmost. Now for such numbers, I just want to know how to represent both the positive integers and the negative integers in sign magnitude form and all these three forms. Okay, I'll take examples and explain you how these three work, and then we shall see how the arithmetic operations work in them. And we can definitely expect a question from this, especially from this 2's complement number system every year. Okay.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities or 50 lakh universities, but whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is, we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.